Hi guys, today if you missed class or if you just missed the directions or need a refresher, here's what we did. So today when you go into your Google Classroom, you'll notice the Zoom link and under it says Water Bottle Flip Lab due Wednesday. And so if you click on that, you'll get to a screen that looks like this and you'll notice that the lab is a couple pages long, okay? What we did today in class is we went over how to do the lab. So the very first thing we did was we talked about how you got to know what you're doing in the lab, right? So the first thing we did as a class is we read the procedure. So please make sure you do that. If you notice, this lab is in the correct steps of the scientific method that we learned about last week. It starts with a purpose, then there's a hypothesis, then the procedure, and that's just the list of steps of what you're going to do in the lab, right? And then there's an evidence section where you're going to record what happens in the lab. And then there's some final thoughts, like a conclusion or answering some questions about what happened in the lab. So all of this we talked about how to do today, and you have today and tomorrow to get done. So this will be due on Wednesday, okay? So once you read the procedure, you'll discover that there's a couple of steps. And basically it all follows this picture. What you're going to do first is you're going to fill up a water bottle to about 25%, okay? Make sure the cap is on good and tight, and then go ahead and try flipping it a couple times, okay? A flip should have somewhere nice to land on. So what your goal is that you're flipping the water bottle, it has it flip, and it lands on the bottom like this, okay? I also like to do it on the ground because it's a nice flat surface, but you need a flat surface. You're not catching it or anything like that. You want it to land. So for example, when I flip, I'm going to go like, and I'm horrible at flipping. There's my, but let's pretend, whoa, woo, it landed perfectly, okay? That's what I want to try to happen. And it's okay if it doesn't, but I would practice that a couple of times, okay? Then when you are done practicing, you're going to officially start your count. So you're going to go down to where it says evidence, and I've already filled this on here, but let's say the first bottle flip that I do doesn't land straight up and down, okay? So then what I'm going to do on the chart is I'm going to say my first flip was not successful. So I'm going to put no. You could also put an unhappy face or a 0 if you wanted to, okay? But you're going to record all your flips. So then I'm going to try flipping it again, and let's say this time it lands, okay? This time I'm either going to put a 1 or a yes, okay? And basically I'm going to do that for all 15 flips. So I'm going to flip it 15 times and write down what happens each time. Let's say in the end that I end up getting 10 that flipped and landed, okay? So when I count all these up, I'm going to then put 10 in the square at the bottom, okay, for how many I got out of 15, all right? Then I'm going to do that same step over again, but with different water bottle amounts. So then I'm going to fill up my bottle to halfway, 50%, and then I'm going to flip it 15 times. I'm going to record my results, and then let's say I got 9 that time, and then I'm going to write them or type down how many I got total. Then I'm going to then I'm going to take my bottle and fill it 75%. And then I'm going to flip it 15 times, record my results. Then I'm going to fill my bottle 100% full of water, flip it 15 times, record my results, okay? So again, a review is this picture, right? Fill it up 25%, flip it 15 times, record results. Then I fill it up to halfway. 15 times I flip it, record my results, and so forth. So you're going to end up filling out this whole highlighted part, okay? So in the end, you're going to see which one, like let's say this third one, 75% full, ended up being 12 successful flips. If that's the highest number, you know that was the most successful. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go down to the bottom and you're going to answer these questions. Please make sure that as you answer your questions, you explain the answer in complete sentences. So this first one says, which amount of water in the bottles had the most successful flips? Please make sure you use a complete sentence. So you might say, the most successful flips was with 25% because I got 12 successful flips. And then you're going to talk about why that was higher than others, okay? So you're going to answer using information from your data table, numbers that you got, and you're going to use complete sentences to answer your questions, okay? So that's basically what you're doing in the lab. However, in class, we also went and did this together. We did the purpose and the hypothesis together. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And here's what we came up with. The purpose always has to be why you're doing the lab, and it should be in a complete sentence. So because we did this together in class, you can go ahead and fill in your lab on Google Classroom with the same answers. Okay, so I'm going to leave this up for you. So we said the purpose was, and it has to be nice and formal and in complete sentence. So we said the purpose of this lab is to determine which percentage of water has the most successful flip. And notice how that was nice and written out. It's in a complete sentence with a capital letter. Okay, so go ahead and you can type that in to your lab document now, because everybody should have the same one. Okay, you can pause the video if you're not done yet. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the hypothesis. So the hypothesis always should have, always should have two words in it. Okay, it should always have the word if to start out, and then somewhere in the middle should have the word then. Okay, so if I thought that country music was going to produce the plants that grow the most, I would have to state that as my guess, and it's totally okay whatever you want to guess. There's no wrong answer. You just have to make sure that it has an if and a then in it. Okay, so for example, I might say, if I play country music to my plants, then they will grow taller than any other music that is played. So notice how I used an if and a then. So as a class, we came up with this one. And the part that I have underlined is the part that you can change if you don't agree with it. So we said, if the water bottle is filled to 25%, then it will flip the most successfully. So notice how I put if and then in my sentence, okay? And then this part that's underlined here can be changed. So maybe you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, I think it should be half would be the best flipping amount. So then you can go ahead and get rid of this and type, if the water bottle is filled to 50%, then it will flip the most successfully. So you can guess whatever you want. There's no penalty ever for guessing what ends up not happening. You're just making a guess, okay? So make sure that you on your lab have filled out the purpose and the hypothesis. Once that's done, go into your lab, fill up your bottle with 25%, start those flips, record those flips, do the whole chart, and then answer the questions. When you're done, also make sure to submit the document, turn it in, and again, this is not due until Wednesday. Okay, good luck and have fun flipping.